Well, we got John Reeves right here, right now. Yes, oh God, we're so lucky to have you, John. What are
Oh,
you
great.
doing?
And here's a cow. But anyway, let's not talk about cows. Let's talk about the three candidates for the
Oh,
mayoral
sorry, I
race in
just
Auckland.
got it. You're talking about that picture behind you. God, that was bloody slow of me to catch up.
That's a cow, Max. You may not have them in your part of the world, but this is a cow. But anyway, so I thought let's talk about the three main candidates in Auckland. Voting is underway now, folks. And, I think you'd agree with me, Max. We should get people out there to vote, right?
Very true.
So So look, let's run it down. Look, you've got a Fisso who's talking about fares-free public transport, but refusing to say how it will be funded. He's also refusing to say how he'll make services better than they are. And quite frankly, right now they are appalling. We're getting 5 buses out of 6 cancelled in a row, and it's happening all over the city.
Look, and a
So
Fesso is another vote for Labor. So what you'll have is a Fesso getting instructions from government in terms of what to do. Look, the government's got us in a lot of trouble within council, and they need to some pushback needs to come from Auckland City Council to them.
totally
So
does. The
a Fesso's
voters need
definitely
to.
not the
So
right man for the job.
if you don't want light rail, if you want to stop the $30 billion massive white elephant, and it's going to be a ratepayers and taxpayers millstone for around our necks for the next 30 years, then you shouldn't vote for a FESO if you want to stop light rail.
I
So
don't
then
know
it
where you
brings me
get
to
the
the next
30
person,
billion
Craig
from because
Lord.
I think it's going to be a phenomenal amount more than that.
Well, there are
Rumors
rumors
have
it could
it's
be
going
at
escalating
north of
even
that as
higher.
well. Yeah, so 40 billion even. But let's just say it's 30, which is still insane. So then you've got Craig Lord. Now, Craig Lord, he's a nice guy. And every 3 years, he comes out of, I don't know where he comes out of. He comes out of something and he comes to public meetings, puts his hand up to be mayor. And he does say some very good things. Look, I don't have a problem with Craig Lord's, what he says. But the only thing is, at the end of the day, he came third last time. And even in all the polls taken so far, he's not coming first nor second, right? So if you want to
Well, I
change a
think Craig
government and
Law's
stop,
experience or lack of is quite telling. He's a journalist, and what he does, he's a salesman. His experience has been a salesman, and he's run a committee. Well, I'm afraid that this is a multi-million-dollar bloody organization, which will need a lot of experience. Last night,
yeah.
I heard him speak last night for the first time. And look, he's very impressive speaker, but unfortunately, his policies don't make it with me.
Yeah,
And
and
I
the
was
key
not. I
thing
was
is, I think,
disappointed to hear quite a few of them because. I'm sorry, John, you're speaking.
no, I think the thing about Craig is he does speak really well. In fact, because I've only seen him because Fisso never turns up to any debates. Craig is pretty good. However, at the end of the day, do we want to stop Fisso from winning and getting us light rail and everything bad that the government's trying to dish out on our city? And so then it comes down to Wayne Brown. Now, with Wayne Brown and transport, the thing I'm very impressed with him is he did do the Upper North Island supply chain study that should, he said, expand rail north and connect it to Marsden Point, take trucks off the roads by putting the freight onto rail. But as he also understood in Auckland, he understands you should build a railway line from Avondale to Onehunga on railway land, which is there. You should expand railways to Auckland Airport, not do light rail. And he understands about extending busways because busways work. They work on the North Shore and put them into East Auckland. So from what I've heard, he does have more knowledge on those transport issues like that. He also, I think a lot of people agree, he wants to fire the person responsible for those road humps turning up all over Auckland.
Oh, I think he wants to fire more than that person. I think he's
Yeah.
going to be actually causing a lot of pain. Or
And
the first thing he's going to do is all those people paid over 300,000, saying he's inviting them to voluntarily take a 30% pay cut.
and
And
look,
those
he's
that
going to
don't
clear out
will
the
be under
rotten
the
senior
scrutiny
management.
of Wayne Brown.
At Auckland Transport, there is the senior management that needs to go. I know them, they know me, and I know that their names are on the list of
Well, it's
being
not only
removed out of
senior
AT if
management; it's
Wayne wins.
whole
So,
departments. What is that one, John? You and I have talked about this before. It's something limited, Auckland Limited or something.
Panuku or Auckland Unlimited?
Panuku.
Yeah,
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 that's
Panuku,
he
yeah.
spoke about that last night. I think that'll be gone when Wayne gets
Yeah.
in.
So, really, if we want
hundred
to
million
change the
dollars,
city
the
and get
hundred
better
million dollars
transport,
each year on that organization doesn't do anything.
Well, if we're here to change Auckland and get better transport, sorting out Auckland transport is the number one priority. And that person, the person I think who's going to make the calls, which are going to be nasty, there's going to be bloodshed, and lefties are going to be screaming as they're kicked out the doors after milking it for so long at AT, is Wayne Brown. So tell everyone, I personally would say vote Wayne Brown this time, because out of the cards we've been dealt, he's the one who will sort things out.
Well, John, one more thing to add to that. And on the North Shore here, we have a guy called Chris Darby who's on council. Would you believe it, folks? He's on the board of Auckland Transport. My goodness me, and a lot of mess it's in. He is another one.
Yeah. And when it comes to the city, you know, Mike Lee's got to get in for Waitemata and golf, because he will be on the board of Auckland Transport. If you get Wayne Brown in, Mike Lee's going to be there. And Mike knows his stuff about Auckland Transport, and he also knows the bad eggs that need to be routed out of that organisation. So I have to say it to the senior manager of AT, even if Mike Lee doesn't get voted on and Wayne does become mayor, I think you're going to find you're going to have Mike Lee turning up there anyway.
All right, John. See you next week.